Hello, welcome to Spirit Island with Jonathan. Today we are starting a new spirit. We have been playing Lightning and now it's time for River. And we are going to start with England 6, and that is going to be a difficult matchup because, as you will see, River is not that good at handling England's towns and cities. So let's see what this spirit is all about before doing anything else. River is a very good and versatile spirit because he has this reclaim 1. That's the main feature that makes this spirit strong, I think, because you can get major powers and you can play them every turn. So this reclaim 1 is very powerful. And then we have River's Bounty, which can make the Han, and making the Han is usually quite difficult in this game, but River has it as a 0-cost power card. And yeah, so this is one of my favorite powers. Boon Vigor gives 1 energy. It makes us a little bit versatile. We can go card plays and still get energy from that by playing Boon Vigor. That makes card plays pretty useful for this spirit. We don't need to add so many energy. And we have excellent energy for this spirit. We have our cards are very cheap. If you compare to Lightning, Lightning have 3, 2, 1, 6 cost total, and we have only 3 total. And we have a stronger build up here from energy than Lightning, and also we get energy from Boon Vigor and River's Bounty, so we get a lot of energy. So we can actually play with major powers for this spirit. It's actually very good considering Reclaim 1. And then we have the Massive Flooding, 2 damage to each invader. That's a very powerful effect if we can collect them in one and the same spot. So this is usually the strategy for River: put them in one land and kill them all, get a lot of fear. And that's basically the way we get fear for this spirit, because as you can see, we do not have any fear producing cards. We only have Flash Floods that can make maybe 2 damage to kill a town, but otherwise it's all about the innate here. So River can struggle with fear. Now that's River. Short introduction here, since it's the first time we play this spirit. And then let's see what we are up to against. We are playing England 6. And River is notoriously bad against England. Why? Well, let's see. He has +1 health, and that is the main thing. +1 health means that our innate here that does 2 damage to each invader, usually this can kill towns, but now they cannot. So this innate becomes a lot worse. Also the second level 2 damage can no longer kill a town. So the innate becomes pretty useless, and also Flash Floods that usually can kill a town in the coast no longer can do that. So this also becomes really bad. So that's why we have no way really to produce fear against England, as you can see. So that's a big problem, because we also have independent resolve, and if we do not produce enough fear, he will build twice. So this will become a problem. How are we going to stop him from getting these extra builds? So this level 5 and level 6 is what makes this so difficult. And then lastly, one of River's usual strategy to bunch them up in one land. That does not either work against England because of his loss condition. If 7 or more are in a single land, they win. So we cannot do that. We need to spread them out, and while we can move them around, we cannot bunch them up in one place. And then they have this empty build rule that they can build in empty lands. And yeah, we are good at control, but what is control good for if they build anyway? So yeah, so our push powers here and wash away and massive flooding, they will do not so much. They will build anyway. And same with flash floods. We can kill an explorer, but what good is that if that explorer is not needed for the build? He will build anyway. So it seems like all our powers are countered from England. So we need to find a strategy here so that we can beat this adversary. And I think this will be the toughest matchup for River. The other spirits do not have extra health, and many of the other issues is not present there. But England is what we are going to face today. So let's see how that works. Let's start the game. River versus England. So we have our first initial explore.
Initial explore. Wetlands. Turn 1. Grow phase.
So immediately we need to think about how on earth are we going to win this game? How are we going to get fear? Well, I think we need powers, right? We are a bit dependent here on getting fear cards from power cards. And the question is, how do we do that? How do we survive? How do we get power while simultaneously keeping him in control somewhat? And I think what we are going to do here is we are going to fish for a major power right from the start. We are going to get a panic card, and we are going to form a strategy depending on what we get here. So what do we have here? Now, what should we look here? I'm not sure if these elements are that useful, because this innate is not going to be very useful. We cannot kill towns, so the second and third level here is not useful at all. So we don't really need to think about them. But we do have elements here, and if we can use them, that will be good. Now it seems like we do not have any water here, but we do have some sun. But mainly we can try to take whatever is good here and try to find minor powers that matches the mayors. And I think these are all pretty interesting. But mainly what we are looking for is some way to generate fear, because as I said, we need to generate 5 fear every turn. Otherwise we will have extra builds. Now we don't have that immediately. We have some turns before he goes into high gear, but when we get there will be a lot of builds. So what do we have here? This one can produce some fear, max 4 fear if we can put out a lot of beasts. And Invader skip 1 action is pretty good. It can prevent one thing. And after this power causes invader to skip an action 4 damage. That's also fear. And 4 damage is enough to kill a city. So that's a good number here. So if that's a possibility, 4 energy is doable. And I don't think this is that hard to get, this threshold. It's not really our colors though. But this is a fear generating card. We can generate fear with that. What about this one then? This basically do 1 damage to each. So this could work if we try to get this innate simultaneously. However, it is different colors, so that will be difficult at least to get this repeat power simultaneously as this one. 1 damage to each, and we can do 3 damage with this Badlands. I'm not sure that is good enough, because this We have towns that have 3 health, and we have cities with 4 health. I think this is not good enough to generate the amount of fear we need. What about this one? This is rather cheap. We have only 3 energy, 2 damage per Dahan in target land. Now we are pretty good with Dahan. We have River's Bounty, we can produce a lot of them, and we can gather them around. So this can do a lot of damage. 2 damage per Dahan, and if we get the threshold, we can do 2 damage per Dahan again in another land. And that can be very useful, and that can kill a lot of things. Now 2 damage per Dahan means if we have 2 Dahan we can kill a city. And yeah, together with River's Bounty, that is a good combo, I think. So that is interesting. Now we have Twisted Flowers Murmur Ultimatums. 4 fear right off the bat. And add 1 strife. If terror level is 2 or higher, move 2 invaders. Now that is a fear generator. And we can, if we get the threshold, we get 3 fear more. That's 7 fear and 3 damage, which is enough to kill a town. So that is interesting. Now that is rather expensive though. It is rather expensive compared to Vigor. But remove 2 invaders, that's a strong effect. And we have easily our wetland counts as sacred sites, so we can easily have a lot of sacred sites. But I think I'm going to go with Vigor of the Breaking Dawn. This is strong. This is a strong power. It can be used by many spirits, but especially if you can control the Dahan in some way. And we do have River's Bounty, and this is the right elements for the threshold. So if we can just have another sun, we have the threshold, and we do have another sun, for example with Bone of Vigor. So we can actually meet this threshold with the powers that we already have. So this is what I'm going to take. The question is then, what are we going to throw away? And I think it is pretty easy. Decision is going to be Flash Floods. This is not very good for us. As I said before, even if you kill explorers, they will build anyway. You just look at these towns here, they only need 2 adjacent towns or buildings and they will build. This is not going to prevent anything. And it is expensive. We have 2 energy here, and we kind of need to save our energy for this effect. So let's get rid of Flash Floods. Okay, so now is the question, can we use this Vigor of the Breaking Dawn here at the first turn? That seems impossible. We are only going to have 1 energy. So the first turn we are going to add presence, and we are going to add so that we get 2 card plays almost for sure. And I think we are going to add him here. That way next turn, if we can play Vigor of the Breaking Dawn here, if we can push in 2 Dahans, we can get another Dahan in here, and that means we should be able to do 8 damage here, which should be enough to kill everything. The build will be prevented, so that looks like an idea. So yeah, let's add him here so that we can play River's Bounty there.
Play powers.
So we will play River's Bounty in a slow phase. We'll get on Dahan, we get 1 energy. We should be able to get 3 energy if we play this one. We'll get 1 more energy. Well, okay, so we have 1 energy, we get 1 energy from this, and we have 1 energy here. So we are good at energy. We don't need anything else to play Vigor next turn. So what do we want to do beside this one then? If you play either of those, we get this innate going. Can we afford to play Wash Away? Let's see. Then we do not have enough energy, do we? Next turn. Unless we add Presence here. Which could be an idea. We want to play Vigor, so we don't want to reclaim for sure. The question is, do we want to hunt for Reclaim 1 here? Or do we want to add an extra energy? If we play Wash Away, that means we can take care of some builds probably. Alternatively, we play Wound of Vigor, we get another energy, but not much else. I think I will go with Wash Away, and next turn we can play 2 Presence, add 1 energy and 2 card plays here. Yeah, let's do that.
Fast powers.
No fast powers.
Build wetlands.
So we remove this and we add a town here.
Explore sands. Slow powers.
So we will do our plan here. We will gather 2, add a Dahan, 1 energy. And now we have 2 push powers, and we want to prevent that Ravage for sure. I think the Ravages are the most important to prevent with this matchup, because we can't really prevent the builds that easily. But we can prevent 1 build here, I think, because this will be gone, and if we push those away, these guys only have 1 adjacent town or city. So if we remove the Explorer, that should prevent the build. So we can prevent either one. Which one do we want to prevent? I think we might want to prevent this one, because he has a blight there. So let's push him in here, and then we can push these guys. We can push those 3 away. And let's see, the town has to be away from the builds, so we should push him here, I guess, or here, because this one will build anyway. So which one is best? Maybe spread them out. We don't want to have them in the same location really, because we are not going to do this innate, and we don't want them to get too big of a capital. We want to have some options where we want him to escalate. But usually we want him to escalate in some corner here, but I don't think this is not a good corner. This is too many adjacent lands. This is equally good. And then what about the Explorers? We want to push them. Maybe 1 with the Beast and maybe 1 with the Dahan, depending on what we get. We can destroy maybe 1 Explorer from that Beast or that Dahan.
Turn 2. Grow phase.
So let's add Presence here. We need 2 energy. The question is, where do we want these Presence? Now, for River, Presence placement is very important, because River Bounty has 0 range, and that means we have to consider where do we want to play River's Bounty. Probably we want it here, so we can move in some Dahan here maybe at some point, and likewise we maybe want to add it here, so that we can add those Dahan in here. Depending on what we get for Explore here, that depends if we get a mountain or a jungle. Then we can move in those Dahan and do Vigor of the Breaking Dawn at that location depending on what is ravaging. So we have covered both options.
Play powers.
So we are going to play Vigor and Boon of Vigor. I don't see any reason why we should not get another energy from that one.
Fast powers.
So we get 1 energy here. And since we are playing this one or this one pretty much every turn, that means now we have 3 energy income. And also if we reclaim, we will get another energy. So that means we can pretty much use this Vigor of the Breaking Dawn every turn once we get to reclaim 1. Which is probably what we are going to head for next. Now this do 2 damage per Dahan in target land. So this is 8 damage. That should take care of those. We do not have the threshold yet. We need 3 card plays for that. But we should be able to hit it next time we can grow.
Event.
So let's check out the event. Population rises. On each board, add 1 town to a land with explorer or town. Okay, so we need to add that one somewhere. And then what's going to happen? On each board, add 1 disease to the sands or mountains with the most towns or cities. So that's a disease here somewhere. And then each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among its land gain 1 energy. Okay, so we can add 1 town to a land with explorer or town. Now what we could do here is we can add a town here. And now we can add a disease here. Since now this sand has the most towns or cities. And that will prevent that build. So we can use that disease immediately. That might be useful. So let's do that and then we get 1 energy.
Ravage. Wetlands.
So no ravage.
Build. Sands.
And now we have prevented this build here. He has only 1 adjacent and this is prevented from the disease.
Explore. Jungles.
So he will explore.
Slow powers. Turn 3. Grow phase.
And we are probably going to reclaim here. So what are we going to look for next? Well, we have our mayor power. So what we want now is a minor power. And what are we looking for here? Well, we probably want something that can, maybe a defense card would be good here. So that we can use those Dahan can defend after they move. That could be useful. A fear card would be very useful. So that we can hit the 5 fear per turn. This might not be enough fear. And also Dahan manipulating cards would be good, so that we can move in those Dahan and do more damage. And it would be good to have sun and animal powers, so that we can hit this threshold easier. How much energy will we have here if we reclaim every turn? Well, we have 1 energy and 2 energy, and probably Reverse Bounty will be played every turn. So that's 4 energy. And so we can actually afford, if we play this one and this one, we can afford something with 1 energy. So that is what we are looking for. So let's see here, what do we have? We have some blight removal. We have animated recruit, can do 1 fear, but that's not that much fear. And this is pretty useless. We absolutely don't want that, I think. Nothing too exciting here. We can pay energy to remove. I don't think that's good. This one has better elements. We have sun and animal. This is what we need for vigor. Do not have any blight to remove in mountains or wetlands, but we probably will have later. And that could be useful to remove blight and stay floating. Yeah, this one is pretty good. We have some beasts and we can remove some blight. This is less useful. Why should we destroy those explorers? And wilds are not that good. But the fear is nice, but it's only one fear. And that's not a lot. It is one fear is one fear. I think I'm going to take teeming rivers here. We can use that together with the other cards, and that pretty much means we can remove one blight per turn if we so wish, at least if there are in mountains or wetlands. Let's grab that one.
Play powers.
So let's play some powers here, and what we are going to play is vigor. And what are we going to do with vigor? That's the question. This is going to be a ravage here, so this is probably where we are going to play it. Well, we have only that location to play it, I guess, where it can do any use. We can play that, or yeah, that will take care of the ravage quite nicely. So what else? What do we want to play more here? We have one more card. We can play River's Bounty. That means we can push the Hun somewhere to set up vigor for the next turn. If we move 2, for example, in here, and then we get 1 extra, that's 6 damage that can take care of the city. So that's probably is what I'm going to play. I'm not sure. We also need to consider what are we going to play next turn. We are going to add 2 presence, I think, to reach reclaim 1. And that means we can play vigor next turn also without reclaiming. But if we are going to do that, we want to hit the threshold. So we want 3 sun and 2 animals saved up for next turn. So that means we want to play River's Bounty or Teeming Rivers together with that Vigor of the Breaking Dawn. Are we going to have any blight here for removing? It does not look like it. So we kind of want to play River's Bounty next turn together with Vigor. That would make more sense. And what else do we need for that threshold? We need a sun. That could be Boon of Vigor, for example. So we need 3 energy. Can we do that? We have 2 energy left now. We can use 1 energy and we can still play that combo. Maybe we play Wash Away then. If we do it this way, we can kill those, and then we can move something in the slow phase. Maybe these guys we can move into 7 and kill them with Vigor. Yeah, let's try that. This way we can kill these guys now and we can kill these guys later. There will be a city here that we cannot move, and they will build here and here. No, not here, but here they will build. They have 2 adjacent, and they will actually build here twice, because we cannot generate any fear, enough fear. We can generate 1 fear here, but that's not enough. So yeah, there is going to be 1 town and 1 city here. There's nothing I can do about. Oh well, we'll try this anyway.
Fast powers.
So let's kill this guy. And we do not have the threshold yet. And that's the fast phase.
Event.
Outpaced. Humanity has always been faster than you, but the invader's terrifying speed catches you off guard. So we need to discard our slow powers, or we can pay 3 energy and or destroy 2 presence. And that means we can resolve it now if we do so. We don't have any real reason why we want to do that, do we? Even if we push him with wash away, he will build here anyway, because he will still have 2 adjacent. So that is useless. But we don't want to discard it either. But I guess we have to. We don't have energy and we don't want to destroy 2 presence, do we? That seems expensive. Maybe we can destroy 2. Maybe that's good enough. I mean, he will probably ravage here and kill that presence anyway. Eventually, next turn. If we cannot move in those Dahan, but if we are going to do that, we need to do it this turn, and we haven't played River's Bounty. So this one is probably going to die, so maybe we can destroy it now. But we also have to destroy this one, and that kind of hurts. I think we are going to discard the power card. We will get 2 energy from that, that's not nothing. Yeah, let's do that. 2 energy. The important thing is we can still play Vigor of the Breaking Dawn with that threshold. So we can push something and we can, for example, push them in here, or we can push them in here and do some damage. Even without wash away. I think that is what we're going to do. Stay steady and slow. What else? We add 1 disease and ignore disease. This is not going to affect anything. So where do we want the disease then? Maybe we will add it where he is going to have his escalation. Now, he will ignore diseases during builds this invader phase, so he will escalate even though I add the disease. But he will build a city here, and then he will escalate and build a town here. And then maybe it is good to have a disease here then, so that the next escalations is happening here, and then the disease can take care of that, so that it doesn't get out of control. Let's try that.
Build wetlands.
So no build here, fortunately, but here it will be a town, and then he will build again, and that will be a city because of independent resolve. Yeah, that's England, a bit ugly.
Ravage. Sands.
But no blight.
Build jungles.
So he will have a town and a city, and we are ignoring that.
Explore mountains.
So we have an escalation, that is another town here, and then we have an explorer.
Slow powers. Turn 4. Grow phase.
Now we want to reach that reclaim 1. That is so lovely to have. And I think what we have to do here is add 1 other here, because he's going to kill that presence. But we want to have a presence here. It is a very important land. And where do we want our second presence? We probably want him in a sand, where we do not have any presence yet. Probably here, I think. this way we can, when the sun comes up, we maybe want to add those Dahan in here. So now we have presence in each land. So now no matter where the Ravage is taking place, we can add Dahan in there with River's Bounty and kill them with Vigor.
Play powers.
So we can reclaim this one with Reclaim 1, and we can play these guys. And where do we want to play them? That's the question. I'm pretty sure that this is what we are going to do. We do not. We can play him here, of course. That will be killing the explorers only. That's pretty bad. So this is not that useful this turn, but we can push up to 2 and do 4 damage somewhere. And that's enough to kill a city. We can kill these guys and prevent that Ravage. I think maybe that is what I'm going to do. Or we are going to kill a city. We probably will not be able to do anything about this one.
Fast powers.
So let's see, we're going to add 1 energy. We have 1 push here also in the slow phase. Now, which one is most useful? We kind of don't want him to Ravage all over the place. But I also kind of not want to break up these Dahan. I could take care of one of the cities. Now this will Ravage, not this turn, but next turn. And I have River's Bounty this slow phase, so I could add those Dahan in here and play Vigor of the Breaking Dawn. That would be 6 damage, that will take care of this one. Except that he will build a town first. So that is a problem. But maybe we can push that town away with massive flooding. Let's try to remove these guys with Vigor of Breaking Dawn. So we do 2 damage here per Dahan in target land, and then we have the threshold, 3 sun and 2 animal. So I pushed 2 in here, and then I can do 2 damage per Dahan. So that means we get our fear card, and that means he will not do the high immigration twice, because that would have been disastrous. He would have a town and city both here and here. But it still looks pretty ugly. He will build all over the place here. He will build here, here, and then here, and then here, and then escalate, which will be a build here. So yeah, this is going to be rough. Can we keep up with Vigor of the Breaking Dawn is the question. But I think we have a shot here. This can be powerful, I think. If we just can keep him from ravaging too much. And if he does, we have Teeming Rivers. We have a chance here.
Event.
Urban development. During the next normal ravage, each city does +2 damage. Yeah, so he will do a gazillion damage here. No problem. If there is no ravage, blah blah blah. In each board, add 1 disease. Ignore disease during builds this invader phase. So he will ignore that disease again. But we will get another disease. So maybe we should simply just add him here again then. I think. Because now he's going to escalate here. He will have 4. And then he will build here. And have another escalation, a couple of turns. So yeah, let's try to keep him in check there. 1 fear per land with invaders where Dahan outnumbers towns and cities. I don't think we have any such lands, so that does not do anything.
Fear.
We are at fear level 1. Invaders do not explore in lands with at least 2 Dahan. So we actually have a couple of lands with 2 Dahan. That is pretty useful. In fact, the next explore is going to be one of those lands, I think. Because we already have mountain, so yeah. And this is going to be useful.
Build. Sands.
So he will build here and here. But only one now, once because of the fear we had. We had a fear card.
Ravage. Jungles.
So he will ravage here, add a blight. We are 1 presence down. And that's the ravage.
Build. Mountains.
And we have some mountain builds.
Explore. Wetlands.
And now let's see, we have the escalation and we are ignoring diseases, so there will be a city here. And then there will be some explorers. Oh yeah, but we should remember this, avoid the Dahan, invaders do not explore, so he will not explore here. That's useful, but yeah, it doesn't do that much because as you all know, we have 2 adjacent buildings here and he will build anyway. So yeah, that's just how England is. It is quite ugly.
Slow powers.
So where do we want to set up the next attack then? Well, probably here, right? So we have a ravage coming up here. We can get rid of that town and do 6 damage there. That will take care of the ravage on this land. Of course he will ravage here, and I don't think I can do anything about that. So maybe we just add him here, maybe. Let him pile up his attack here, and then we can take care of this land at least. Now this Dahan is going to take one for the team, I'm afraid. I don't think I can rescue him. Well, I can rescue him with River's Bounty, possibly. So let's see, we have used this one. And we have River's Bounty, we can gather up to 2 Dahan. So yeah, I can gather him here. Do I want to do that? Or do I want to add this one? Makes more sense to save that one, doesn't it? Yeah, let's do that. 2 Dahan in here, and then we saved him. So we can take care of this next turn. But of course we do have one thing to consider here. If we do this, we can do 2 damage. We will have 1 extra Dahan from the River's Bounty here. Let's add him immediately, and we have 1 energy. But okay, so we can either do this or we can do that. But if we do this, we can push him into that land and do some damage here also. That is 2 extra damage. But then all those Dahan will die in the counterattack. How much damage will we do? We'll do 6 damage. That's enough to kill the city and 2 explorers, but we still have a town there. Interesting. I mean, we could push this town somewhere else with massive flooding, but he can still counterattack and kill off at least 1 Dahan. Or we are lucky and we get some defense. That could happen. Next turn we are going to reclaim. We get a power card here. Maybe we can get something here that we can use to defend. I think I'm going to try to leave that Han in here. And maybe we can do something with that one. Yeah. Let's try that.
Turn 5. Grow phase.
So let's reclaim and see if we can find a defense card here. We actually got a defense card. That is pretty good. It is very good, because this one is Sun also, which is what we are needing for this one. And it has Fear. That's very good. Now this one is also tempting, because it is 0 cost, and we can gather up to 2 Dahan, and Dahan have 2+ health. That means this will be more powerful, and it also has Animal, which is excellent for this power. But defense will save them from dying, and this will save them from dying, but not in the same extent. This will also save them from blighting. I think this is what I'm going to take. The other ones I'm not going to consider. Yeah, let's take this one, because this means we can play it this turn here, and that we will save that counterattack here, I think. That's 4 defense, yeah. This is going to be good. We probably is going to be able to defend both those lands then.
Play powers.
And we have plenty of energy. We are going to play those 2, and we are going to play River's Bounty. And that's our 3 card plays. Now I think we can play these 3 powers pretty much the rest of the game here now. We have a way to gather in Dahan. We can do damage with them, get some Fear, and then we can put up some defend there, and if there is anything left, they will die from the attack. And we can do this every turn. If we reclaim, we get 1 energy, we get 2 energy, we get 4 energy, and that is what we needed to play those. So this is a great combo.
Fast powers.
So this one will do 6 damage here. And then we have the threshold now. We may push up to 2 Dahan. In lands you push down to 2 damage per Dahan. So we can push them here. We can do 6 damage here also. I think that is what I'm going to do. I have 4 damage incoming here, so let's put up a defense 4 here. And we can do that. We have a sacred site here because of the special rule, of course. And we also have the threshold here, so we will get another Fear, which is excellent. Now we have a Fear card. So he will only build once from that high immigration. Yes, this is shaping up. So this should be dead in the Ravage phase.
Event.
We are at stage 2. Local diaspora. In the single land with the most invaders, push 1 explorer, 1 town to each adjacent land. So that means he will have that happen here. So we need to remove those towns and explorer out here. So that actually means he is going to add something in here. Can we defend that? We have defend 4. So we can move in the explorer, then he will make 5 damage, and that is good enough for it not to blight. So let's add the explorer here, let's add a town here, and let's add a town here, I think. Now suddenly this is the capital, which means now he's going to escalate here and not use our diseases, but that's okay. We have one build we can prevent, and yeah, let's make sure that this town, this land does not go out of control only. Okay, that's the local diaspora, and then we have each beast generates 1 fear if invaders are present, and moves to an adjacent land if not. So we can move him somewhere. Let's see, he will die, or he will not die, but he will be left there. And then we have this land, which will build and then ravage. Where do we want the beast? Maybe we will add him here. I'm not sure what's best here. On each board, push to the hand from a land with blight to a land without blight. That is not applicable anywhere. Okay, let's move on.
Fear.
Immigration accelerates. We are at fear level 1. Each player removes 1 explorer from a coastal land. Yeah, not happening anything here.
Build jungles.
So this disease is removed and no build here. And this only 1 build because we had a fear card.
Ravage mountains.
Here we have no ravage, here we have defense 4. He will do 1 damage to Adahan, and then we will do 6 damage, and that's enough to kill those towns. That's 2 fear. We still have an explorer, which is a bit annoying. He will be able to build, but well, he will build anyway, right? So it doesn't matter.
Build wetlands.
So he will build a city here. Nothing here.
Explore sands.
And then we have an escalation, and that's another town here. And we have explore.
Slow powers.
So let's see, can we tackle this beast here? He have a lot of stuff here, doesn't he? And we can gather 2. We can do 6 damage. And then what we can defend 4. 6 damage is not that much. But we can also start it from here. We can Vigor of the Breaking Dawn here, do 4 damage and push those in here. That means we will have 5 Dahan in here for that second effect. That is enough to do 10 damage. And that is enough to kill those cities and 1 explorer. He will then have 3 towns left. We can defend 4. It's not quite enough, but he will probably blight. But he will die for sure in the counterattack, I think. He might kill some Dahan. Yeah, we're gonna have to try that, I think. So let's move in some Dahan in here. And 1 from here for sure, that is the question. Do we want to add this one or 1 from these? We don't want to touch those for sure. Maybe it's a bit more flexible to take that Dahan. That way we can use this Dahan for this land, and we can use this Dahan for this land. So we have some options. And then after we have gathered, we should add 1 Dahan and get 1 energy. And that's River's Bounty.
Turn 6. Grow phase.
So we are probably going to reclaim so that we can play the combo again. Yeah, probably we are going to reclaim for the rest of this game. I don't see why not. Do we really need anything else here? I don't think so. Let's just grab some minor powers and see if we can get something else that's good. What we do need is fear, because we have a lot of fear to go through, and he will keep building everywhere. So we cannot really win until we have gone through it, at least level 1 and 2, I think. I don't think we can kill all the towns. Maybe we can kill all the cities, but that means we have to go through 7 fear cards, and each fear card is 5 fear. So we need a lot of fear. So if we could get some fear cards here, would be nice. But we did not get that. We get an isolate. It's pretty useful. Isolate is good because then those adjacent builds is not happening that often. For example, here if we could isolate this one, this is only 1 town, so this would not build, for example. Yeah. And then we have rouse the trees and stones. That's not good enough. This is energy. Now this is a little bit interesting. This is sun and animal. That's the correct elements for vigor. And it has defend 4 if we have a sacred site. And we get a beast. Now the beast is not that interesting, but defense is useful. We can actually use it here. We have a sacred site. If we can use it twice, we will have 8 defense. So that is an option. This is quite similar to this one. It gives defend 4. So yeah, I think I will take that one. That also means if we want to add an additional presence, then we have 2 defend card to choose from. That's always nice, and we can reclaim 1, so that means we can still use this even if we don't reclaim. So yeah, let's move on to play powers.
Play powers.
So let's see, we are going to play Vigor of the Breaking Dawn for sure, and we want to meet the threshold. That's the most important thing. So we can use these, for example. And now we have threshold and we have 8 defense. That means we should be able to defend this properly. However, that also means we will next turn, this will be almost empty and we cannot move any Dahans with River's Bounty. So the question is, do we want to play Guardian Serpent? We could change one of those into River's Bounty. We will still have 4 defense here. Is that good enough? We will have, let's see, we will have 10 damage. We will kill 2 cities. We have 9 damage incoming. And we can defend 4 or 8. 8 would be enough. We don't need anything else, and it will not even blight. Although if it blights doesn't do that much, we can remove it with Teeming Rivers. But we will lose the presence. But River's Bounty is nice. We get another Dahan, and we can move Dahan into the sands that will be blighting next. And we will have some problem areas here. This in particular will have a city here, and it will ravage next turn. It would be nice if we could move in the Dahan and kill those. So maybe we should allow it to blight here and kill some Dahan maybe, and then we can move the Dahan and kill that instead. So which one do we want then? Both is playable. This will give us another beast, and this will give us another fear. And we will have, do we have enough fear to reach it? We will kill 1 town and 2 cities. That's plenty of fear. Will it be enough to reach next level though? Let's see, we have 8 more fear. This will give 1 fear, and this is 5 fear, and this is 6 fear. It's not enough, so it doesn't really matter. It would be a matter of if we want to play Guardian Serpent next turn or not. Maybe I think I will take the fear. We already have a beast here, it doesn't do that much. Fear is useful. Then we have the option, maybe we don't need to play Guardian Serpent next turn if we play Presence. I'm not sure if we're going to do that, but then at least we have the option. I think this is the more useful to have fear. And then we're playing River. Okay.
Fast powers.
So let's see, we are going to first do 2 damage here per the hand, that's 4 damage. It's 1 fear. And then we are going to push these guys in here. And that means we do 10 damage here. And then what are we going to do? We are going to play this one here. Defense 4 and 1 fear. Because we have 2 sun. Yep, and yeah, he will ravage here. He will do 6 damage, minus 4, that's 2 damage. And if we can find something in event or fear, that will take care of that. Otherwise, it will add a blight. Not a big deal. We can swoop that out with the teeming rivers. And now we still have River's Bounty to invade the next land here.
Event.
So we still have a healthy island. We have civic engagement. Remove 1 strife if you can't. Invaders do +1 damage per land when ravaging land with buildings. So we cannot remove, so then he does 1 extra damage here. And then we have destroy 1 explorer town in the land with beast. So that means we can destroy a town here. So we only need 1 more fear here, please, before we go into the fear card, but I guess that's not going to happen. On each board, push 3 Dahan from lands with disease to lands without. We do not have any Dahans here, so let's move on. Now he is going to do 5 damage here. 1 extra. And we have 4 defense, that should be enough for it not to blight.
Fear.
Each player chooses a different land with the hand, 1 damage there. So we can kill this guy. Yeah, I don't see why not. And that's it. I mean, do we need to do some damage here? No, we have plenty of the hand here. And we cannot choose any other land. So let's do that. It doesn't prevent the build, but yeah.
Build mountains.
So he will build here and he will build here.
Ravage wetlands.
And then let's see, he will do 1 damage to this Dahan, and then he will die. So we are at stage 2, or fear level 2. Great. And then we have more builds incoming here.
Build sands.
We have a city, we have a city.
Explore jungles.
And now we have an escalation, and now we have an option here. Where do we want escalation? We probably want it in this land because we have a disease here. I'm guessing that is probably what I'm going to do, but we also have the option to put something here. Now, what are we going to do next turn? We want to invade this land, I think. And how much damage will we do? We will do... we will add 2 Dahan, get another one from River's Bounty, that's 6 damage. So we can kill City and Explorer. That's not that much, but we can do the same trick as we did before. We can add 3 Dahan and we can start it from, for example, here or here. We will explore here. So maybe we can kill that Explorer and move those Dahan in here, then we will get 10 damage again, same as last turn. So if I add a town here, that will be 4 damage, 3 damage, and another 3. That is 10. That should be enough. So let's escalate here. And then we can kill off those buildings in next turn. So we escalate here and explore. Yeah.
Slow powers.
So we want to add a Han, and now let's see, we want to add it from here probably, and here. Add another Dahan, 1 energy.
Turn 7. Grow phase.
So we have some options here now. We can reclaim, of course, and do the same thing, or we can try to do something different. We still can reclaim this one, so that's not a problem. We can kill this Explorer, prevent that build, move them in here and kill off these guys. So that is absolutely what we're going to do with this one. But then it's the question, it's always nice to have this River's Bounty again, so that we can set up the next attack. But we also kind of want to add more presence if possible. Now we have Guardian's Serpent. Can we use this? You will ravage here. That's 5 incoming damage, and this is 4 defense. So we will need a Sacred Site though. So that is one option. We could add 2 presence in here to play Guardian Serpent there. We don't really need any defense here. We will only have an Explorer left. But we could prevent that blight with Guardian Serpent. But then we cannot move anything with River's Bounty. So what do we want to play instead? We could play Wash Away to move one of those towns, maybe. Yeah, that seems... Or we can use Teeming Rivers, but I don't think we will have a blight anywhere where we can use that one. Well, I think we are going to try this. Let's add presence. And I think we are going to open 5 card plays here. Yeah, and we are going to place them here. We have a Sacred Site, 4 Guardian Serpents, and we have 5 card plays we can play. Boon of Vigor, get another energy every turn. I mean, this is better than opening 1 energy from here, because we will be able to play this every turn, I think.
Play powers.
So let's play 1. This one is reclaimed. And let's see, do we have energy to play everything? Yeah, we do. We could play everything we have. That even means we can reach 2nd level here. So why not? Why shouldn't we do that? That seems like a reasonable idea. Even though we cannot really use this one. But it means we can do 2 damage. And we can push up to 3. And together with this we can push 3 from this one also. do that.
Fast powers.
So we will play this on ourselves, and then we can add a beast here and defend 4. So we have taken care of this problem. And then we can play Boon of Vigor, that's 1 energy. And then we have Vigor of the Breaking Dawn. And we are going to play it here to take care of that Explorer. And then we have the Threshold, and we can push those in here. And we can do 10 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that should be 4 fear. So we have 2 level 2 fear cards so far. That seems pretty nice.
Event.
Farmers seek the Dahan for aid. Yeah, that is a good card, I think. Isn't it? On each board, 2 damage to Dahan in a land with town or cities and Dahan. So we have that here. On each board, add 1 blight to a land with at least 2 buildings. Yeah, we kind of don't want to do that. And they will have -1 health. That does not really affect anything, but the other ones are not that good. On each board, add 1 town to a land with Dahan. That could be useful, maybe somewhere. The next normal ravage becomes a build. Now that we don't want that. For sure, we don't want more buildings, we want to ravage. We have a defense here, and this will be dead from that ravage. So this is basically 2 more towns. And this is a blight, and we lose a Dahan. So 2 towns, or we lose a Dahan and we get a blight. Now the blight we can remove from teeming rivers, can't we? Unless... no, we cannot, because this has to have at least 2 buildings. That's unfortunate. So we cannot add it in the mountains or a wetlands. We can only add it to a sands. So what is best here? And I think we need to keep the buildings low, because look what's happening here. We will get a stage 3 cars from now on, and that is a lot of builds coming up. So yeah, we will probably spurn the invaders, and we need to kill that Dahan then and add a blight. Luckily we have 1 more before it will blight, and then we can add it here. And then they have -1 health. Let's remember that. So that's spurn invaders. And what else? New diseases. On half of the board surrounding up, add 1 disease to a land with both Dahan and invaders. And let's see, we have an invader here and a Dahan here. So we need to add a disease here. Kill 1 of those Dahan. Yeah.
Fear.
Dahan reclaim fishing grounds. Now we are at fear level 2. Each player chooses a different coastal land. In each, gather up to 1 Dahan, 1 damage per Dahan. Yeah. We don't really want to do that, but I guess we have to. Well, it's up to 1 Dahan. So we don't really need to do that then. We could make 1 damage to this one, and this one has -1 health, but England makes it having 3 health. Should we do that anyway? Yeah, let's try it. Maybe we are lucky in the next fear card. We can kill off that town maybe. In each land with stuff or adjacent to 3 or more such tokens, defend 5. Well, we kind of don't need the extra defend, we're already good, thank you, but yeah, that does nothing for us.
Build wetlands.
So we have builds, and we have gotten a fear card, but he will still build here once.
Ravage sands.
Now let's see, he will die, and that is the ravage for this one, and the ravage here will not do anything.
Build jungles.
And this will be removed from that build.
Explore jungles and wetlands.
So he will explore in the coast here and over here.
Slow powers.
So let's see, we can add a beast here somewhere. Why not? And now where do we want the beast? Maybe we want it here. Maybe it can eat that explorer somehow. And then we have our push, and we have 2 damage and push. So what are we going to do next turn? Well, we have no pushing with the hand this turn, but we can still play bigger. We can kill off those maybe, and we could move 2 in here and kill off 1 city. And then we could defend with favor of the sun. We have 4 defense, but we have a little bit extra explorers there. But we could push them away. We have 2 ways to push them. What else? These are building. We kind of want to avoid that if possible. We have 2 damage push up to 3. Where does it make sense to do that? How much damage we will do here? We will do 8 damage. We could take care of 1 more town and 1 more explorer. So it makes sense to push in something into this land here. It does make sense to do that. If we can kill off those towns in the fast phase, then he will not build here. So maybe I will push this one in here. And I could kill those explorers with 2 damage maybe. But then he will build here. So that's the question. I can make sure this doesn't blight. I think that is the priority here. We have only 1 light left. We can defense 4 here. Maybe we can defense 8. Can we do that? How much energy do we have? We do not get any extra energy this turn. We'll get 2 more. We are actually starving for energy right now. Next turn we will only be able to play bigger and no... Well, we have 1 extra energy from the reclaim, of course, so that's 4 energy at least. So we can play 1 defense card. But not 2. That means we should get rid of those explorers. So let's do that. Let's 2 damage here. And we don't push anything. And then we can wash away. And I think we will wash this one here. Yeah. Let's try that.
Turn 8. Grow phase.
And we reclaim gain energy, and let's find a fear card here, please. It doesn't look like we get any fear cards this game. None of these are spectacular. Three elements, but we don't really need any more. This is the right elements for vigor, but what does it do? It destroys the Han. 1 damage, 1 fear. 2 damage, 1 fear. This could be useful to gather some Dahan maybe. Yeah, let's take that one. It's a little bit like River's Bounty that we can gather some Dahan maybe. But it costs 1 energy. I'm probably never going to use it. But I don't see. This is also gather 1 Dahan. Yeah, no, that was not a good draw. But I don't think we need it.
Play powers.
So we need vigor, we need fear. No, we need defense. And we have to play this one. Because this is not targetable, we need a sacred site for that one. So this is what we're going to play, and I guess 0 cost cards. Because that's the only thing we can play.
Fast powers.
So we defend 4 here. And we can actually push this one. That's useful. We can maybe push it so we can use teaming rivers. Let's push him in here. And then 1 fear. And then we have Vigor of the Breaking Dawn. 2 damage per Dahan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 fear. And we can push 2 of them. Let's push them here. And we do 4 damage. So that's our fear card. And then let's get more energy from this one. And that's my turn.
Event.
Yard stage 3. Invaders do +1 damage per land when ravaging. That's okay, I think. And we still have 4 defense. On each board, add 1 disease to the jungle wetland in the most town cities. That will be here. And then we have on each board, remove 1 blight from a land with at least 2 Dahan. That means we can remove this blight. Excellent.
Fear.
Skip the normal explore. During the next invader phase, draw an additional explore card. Now the stage 2 explorers are reluctant is a bit dangerous. Now it means we will have a break here, but then we will have 2 explore cards, which will mean 2 build cards and so forth. So this means we are better hurrying up here to win, because otherwise this can get nasty. This is actually one of the fear cards that on this level that can be dangerous. I almost prefer the level 1 effect, because this just skip, but this will mean we have a double build and then a double ravage, which can be very scary. That is what we got.
Build. Sands.
So he builds in sands. This one will be removed. I guess we don't have anything here. No, on each board it just say add. It doesn't say that it should skip something. So this one is skipped. This one is used up, and then we have a build here.
Ravage. Jungles.
So this one will not blight because we have defense, and then he will die. It's 2 fear. But I guess this one will blight because he also does +1 damage. So that's a blight here, unfortunately.
Build. Jungles and wetlands.
So he will build some towns. Yeah, and this build is prevented again. Yeah.
Explore. Slow powers.
But we do not have an explorer due to that fear card. So now we have a chance here. We have no builds from this card, and we have only here to consider and wetlands. But that is and he will also build here, of course. So there is some issues here. But what we need to do here, we need to work through these cards and try to kill that city. And that's it, I think. But still some turns away from reaching that level. So what about next turn? He will ravage in jungles and wetlands. So that's 2 ravage here. That is a bit scary. I mean, we could add some Dahan in here. We have a presence here, luckily. And that means we can play Vigor here first and move those in here and take care of both of them. Alternatively, we can push something in here. We can have, let's see, we can get up to 10 damage worth here, but we can only move 2. But that means we can take care of that city, that town and that city. That should take care of that ravage, and then we do not have any city here. But then he will build and ravage here. And he will not build here, but he will ravage here. It's 3 blight. Now I think we can leave that city for now, and let's focus on not blighting too much here. Let's gather into Dahan from here maybe, and this one. We add a Dahan and 1 energy. So now we can kill those with 6 damage, and then we move 2 and kill those with 4 damage. So the question is, where do we want to push a town? We can push something in here. We could take care of this town this way by moving him. It's one way of doing it. Or we can simply just defend here. I mean, that's better. We can defend here and from the counterattack kill that town. We can maybe even push that in here then. I think that is what I'm going to do, because that's 4 damage and we can defend 4.
Turn 9. Grow phase.
Yeah, let's just reclaim here. What do we have? Do we have some fear cards? No, we do not. Where are all the fear cards? We have more defense. We have strife. Could be useful. Now this is a 0 cost card. I've been looking for these 0 cost cards. So this is probably useful now that we have 5 plays. Because this sucks up a lot of energy and we do not have that much energy. I don't think we need more defense, do we? We get all the defend 4 cards. I think we are good with those. But let's take Territorial Strife. It has good elements. We can use it to add strife or kill a town.
Play powers.
So, what do we need to play? We need to play Vigor of the Breaking Dawn to take care of those. We want to add more Dahan so that we can take care of these guys next turn. And then what else? We have 2 more energy. So what do we want to play here? We want to play some defense to take care of this. We probably want this guy. Now this will die. Everything will remove here, so he will not build here. He will build here. Then he will ravage. That is a bit of a problem. He will build and ravage immediately. So maybe we need to defend there also. Can we do that? We can use this to defend here, and then we can use this one to defend here. That way he won't blight in either land. Yeah, let's do that. And then we have a 0 cost card. We can use either one of them. Now this will give us a push. That could be useful. Or we will kill a town. That could be useful also. We need a push. Let's see. These are going to die. These are going to die. These are going to die. Looks promising. And what else? He's not going to escalate or something like that. He's just going to spew out a lot of explorers. And then we should be able to kill him. Yeah, maybe we simply destroy another town there. That should do it, I think. And we could... Those will die from the counterattack, and then next turn we can take care of those in the fast phase with vigor, I think. Yeah, let's do territorial strife.
Fast powers.
So we will play vigor here, kill 6 damage. It's 1 fear, and then we move 2 in here and do 4 damage. And then here we will defend 4 here. And this one will add a beast. This is a sacred site, so let's add a defense here.
Event.
And let's go for the event. Overconfidence. If you have any earn fear card, discard 2 of them now. Otherwise, move 2 earn fear. No, wait, we are at fear level 2, right? Aren't we? Terror breeds aggression. For every 2 fear cards currently in the earn fear card pile, invaders do +1 damage when ravaging. We do not have any earned fear cards, so that does nothing, I guess. Yeah, that's okay. On each board, add 1 beast to land adjacent to a beast. And destroy a Dahan in a land with beast. So we don't want to destroy this one, but we can destroy this one, so it's no big deal. So let's add a beast somewhere. A land adjacent to a beast. Well, let's add 1 here now. And then destroy this Dahan. And when invaders ravaged, if the land has both Dahan and presence, defend 5. Okay, so we have defend 5 here, and we have defend 5 here. We didn't really need that. We set up our defense for ourselves. But oh well, now we get extra defense, I guess.
Build jungles.
So he will build in jungles. So he will build a town here, but nothing here.
Ravage jungles and wetlands.
Now he will... Let's see, we have 2 Dahans here. He will do 4 damage. That takes care of 1 town. 1 fear. And this one will ravage. We have defense. and this will die. They will die. So that's the ravage.
Explore. Jungles and sands.
So we have jungles and sands and wetlands. So we have jungles and sands, and then we have sands and wetlands.
Slow powers.
Yeah, we better kill him now or he will build a gazillion buildings. So let's try to do that. We have luckily River's Bounty, and I think that will be enough. Let's add in those Dahan in here. We get another Dahan, 1 energy, and that's River's Bounty. And then we have Territorial Strife. We can use that to kill 1 town. Yeah, I think we will be able to kill that town, and this city in the fast phase.
Turn 10. Grow phase.
So we simply reclaim here. We can gain a power card. So here is all the fear cards. Now that I don't need them anymore. Well, let's grab one of them. Doesn't matter. Let's grab a fast one, I guess. Let's take this one.
Play powers.
So we want to play Vigor, and then the rest does not really matter. And we just need to have the threshold. So let's make sure we have that one. And maybe this one is fear. This one is fear. And yeah, and this maybe, I don't know, it doesn't matter.
Fast powers.
1 energy. Let's defend 4. Just for fun, he's not going to ravage. But we can add him here and push this one. That's 1 fear. And we can do this one here, 2 fear. Next time something is destroyed, 1 more fear. Let's remember that. So we play Vigor here. 1 fear, and we move those in here. And we do 10 damage here. 7, 8, 9. That should be 3 fear from killing that city and that town. And then we get another fear from this effect. So yeah, that's it. We did it. The towns and cities are gone. We have a level 3 victory. We really only needed a level 2. But since we removed all the towns somehow. But either way, we won against England with River. So that is how one can do it if one get a lucky major power. I think we were rather lucky to get this one. It worked really well with River. It had the elements that we needed. We had them already from the beginning. And it turned out to be very powerful. Yeah. So that's one way, I guess. There are other major powers that are really good with River. So it's all about finding the right major power, and then we can kill pretty much anything with River. Because of this reclaim one, it is insanely powerful. So that's it for this time. Next time we will play against France, and we probably is going to be able to use our innate that game, I hope. So if you're up to it, see you then, and see you later.